Chapter 11. I don't know how long I've been in here for. It could be days or a week or more. I keep falling in and out of sleep. Sometimes I'm woken up by the chain rattling outside the door, and sometimes it's the girl's cries and screams or the man shouting. We have had light 5 times since the first day he took the little girl. We only get it when he brings the box with food, but the portable light battery dies after a few hours. He always takes it and leaves a lit candle. Every time I am up, I stare at the older girl throughout, and I know for sure that it is my sister. I don't remember her being this young. We had a huge age gap, and all my memories of her are of when she was a teenager. I don't remember my own toddler years. My childhood pictures start from the first day of school, and there aren't many because there were no phones with cameras that long ago. People used to hire cameramen to take family portraits and had to wait for weeks for the photos to be printed and delivered. My grandmother was not the type of person who would go through that much trouble just for memories. There is not a single photograph of my sister as a child, and that had never been an issue with me until now, sitting here in a dark room knowing I'm either dead or in some kind of transcendence. Every time the man comes in here and takes the little girl, which is often, Gertrude cries and begs him to take her instead. But he never does. I've seen him kick her, slap her a few times, and the worst parts have been when he brings the little girl back, throwing her on the floor like a sack of potatoes. In the times that we have had this light, I've seen her eyes. They've become more and more hollow. I think he makes her take a bath every time he brings her back. Gertrude uses the water he brings them every second day to wash herself and brush her teeth over the same bucket they relieve themselves in. At some point, she was on her period and the smell was worse than it usually is. I'm useless and helpless, and although it is clear that I am not physically here, I don't know how to get out, or if I can get out. I think the girl in the yellow dress killed me that night, and nobody will ever know what happened to me. The people in this town must think I left. Patrick probably told someone who told someone what I told him about seeing the little girl and the house across that didn't exist. I wonder what happened to my car and if Kutulu ever came back for his money. I'll never know who Seipati Mhlalose is and why she left the house to me. Mzolisi won't try to find out what happened to me. I've ghosted him many times, and he must think this is one of them. If only I knew, I would have left with Patrick, or better yet, disregarded my grandmother's dying wish. I feel like I have traveled a very long distance from when I left my home for Didier, not even knowing what I was coming here for. I was planning to have the house painted blue, its original color. I was going to change the wooden floors to tiles and remodel the kitchen. I had planned to paint the inside walls all white so it looked less dark and less old. Staying here was never part of my plans, but here I am, a ghost lingering. I should have listened to the B&B owner when he told me not to sleep in this house. Hell, even the crazy Jumanji tried to warn me. He called me a zombie. He must have foreseen all of this. Someone once told me that people we call crazy aren't really crazy. They just have things locked in their minds and they're struggling to communicate them properly. But it was some guy I had a brief fling with. He was cool and fascinating at first, until he started telling me I had a heavy aura at every chance he got. He thought he was deep. I believed he was insane. I didn't end our thing with words. I just blocked him everywhere. But now that I'm dead, I think maybe I should have paid more attention to his madness, because maybe I would understand why I'm stuck here and not in heaven or hell. I hear the footsteps, and the one thing I'm hoping for is light. I don't care about the food he could be bringing. I'm a ghost, and ghosts don't get hungry. It is not the box or shit bucket change that happens when the door opens, but something is thrown into the room before the door is closed and locked and the footsteps disappear. The candle is still giving us some light, but brighter would have been better. It's a child, that I can make out. She's lying on the floor, obviously passed out, and she's wearing a yellow dress and is barefoot. It's her. I rush to her and try to touch her, but I can't feel her body, even though she is right here. Gertrude moves closer and pulls her to the mattress. She lays her next to the little girl, and they both fill up the mattress, leaving her with little space to lie down. I can't help but feel sad about how lifeless she looks. She's just a child too, and every time that man has come here, she has tried to protect the little girl. And now there is another one, a new one. She looks almost the same age as the one being called girly, but I'll know for sure when she wakes up. I feel myself slipping off again, and I can't stop it. I'm gone. I'm brought back by a sound of a little voice screaming. It's the girl in a yellow dress, banging her fist on the door and screaming for her mother. I don't know how long I've been gone for, but I figure it can't be that long, because if it had been days, the girl would have given up by now. Nobody will hear you, the other little girl says. There's absolutely no life in her voice and her body. All she does is sleep, and sometimes she eats after serious convincing. When we have light, she sits there and stares at it until its batteries die and it goes off. I'm really dead because even the girl in the yellow dress can't see me, and she's the one who brought me here. Come sit down, Gertrude says to her. The girl shakes her head and bangs the door even harder. I wish I could tell her it's no use. Eventually, she goes to the mattress and accepts the apple Gertrude has been begging her to take and eat. What's your name? Gertrude asks her. Kamo. My mommy is inside the clinic. I went to buy sweets and then I went to the toilet. Malume came and said he's taking me to the other side to get an injection. Where is my mommy? I want to cry, but I don't think I can. What's your uncle's name? Do you know him? Yes, Malume Duelo. He works at the clinic. He's my mommy's boyfriend. So the man's name is Duelo. He must have drugged the child to get her here. What kind of insane human does this? What's your name? She asks. I don't remember. I didn't have a name until she arrived, she says, pointing at the little one with her head. What's her name? She doesn't remember her name either, so I told her to call me Sissy and I'll call her Girlie. This is the most heart-wrenching conversation I have heard in my life, and it's between children. Is Malume going to come back and open for us? I need to pee. Girlie, with her hollow eyes and wobbly arms, points her to the bucket at the corner and says, He'll come back, but he won't open for us. We pee there. Kamo doesn't go to the bucket. Instead, she pulls her knees up to her chest and darts her eyes all around the room. She must think she can hold the pee until she doesn't have to pee in a bucket. Hope is a good thing to have. Useless in this situation, but it's good to hold onto it until you have no choice but to let it go. And that will be as soon as that man comes in here and drags her upstairs. When she comes back from there, she'll know it's time to give up. She won't be a child anymore. What's the name of the clinic Malume works at? Gertrude. It's the clinic. It's close to my home, Kamo says. It's unrealistic to expect a child who hasn't even lost her front teeth to know the name of a clinic, or her home address, or any phone number by head. She's around 4 years old. It's next to my school. What is school? Girlie asks her. I wonder where he snatched her. You don't know school. It's where you learn to sing songs and sing colors and animals to draw. Everyone in my class can't write yet, but I can write and read, so my teacher says I'm smart. In normal circumstances, these two would be playing together, running around, giggling and screaming like typical little girls. They'd be best friends dreaming about being princesses and seeing the world in pink. But instead, they're here, scared and confused. Do you know where Malume lives? Gertrude. She's trying to get information out of her, which makes me wonder how long this man has kept her here if she doesn't know anything about him. He lives with mommy and me, but sometimes he goes to where his mommy lives because she's sick and he has to take care of her. Where does his mother live? I don't know. My mommy also doesn't know. But sometimes he sleeps there for days and my mommy only sees him during the day when he's at work at the clinic. He said he will take mommy there when they get married. He said after that I won't have to call him Malume Duelo anymore, that he'll be my father. Where is your home? Gertrude takes a deep breath. She doesn't know where her home is, or where she is, or how she got here. She grew up in this room. This is the most horrible thing I have experienced in my life. My childhood with crazy Gertrude was nothing compared to this. I've accepted that I'm a ghost, looking at my sister's life before she became what she was with me. This is why my grandmother made me come here. She wanted me to see why. But obviously she eventually escaped, with Girlie. With Girlie? I hear the chain rattling outside the door just as I start to feel myself slipping away again. No, I don't want to go, not now. Chapter 12. I'm 7, but my front teeth only fell out a week ago. I'm the tiniest and shortest kid in grade 1, and my teacher always has a concerned look on her face when she interacts with me. I'm used to it. It's Monday and my grandmother is here at school. On Friday, I was given a letter to give to her by my teacher. I didn't read it, but this morning she walked to school with me. She looked very worried the whole time, and I started panicking because maybe the letter from my teacher said bad things about me. We don't go to my class. We go to the staff room where all the teachers sit and chat and plan and eat breakfast before they come to class. I'm scared, but I know I have been good since the first day I put on my uniform and came here, which wasn't a long time ago. I know I'm smaller than my classmates, but I can write and I can count to 100. That's why our teacher likes me and makes me sit at the front. We don't sit in the staff room, my grandmother and I. My teacher says we should go to the office next door. There's nobody inside, and I do not know whose office it is. My teacher sits on a chair behind the desk, and grandmother and I sit on the 2 chairs across her. The chair I'm sitting on is big and tall and has a cushion, so I flap my legs because I like that they're hanging in the air, unlike when I sit on the small blue chairs in class. My teacher introduces herself to my grandmother. She's Miss Matsunyane. I think it's pointless because my grandmother already knows my teacher's name. I talk about her all the time at home. I like her very much. She has nice shiny hair and she wears high heels that make sounds when she walks. Her lips are a different color every day and her nails are red this week and pink the next week and whatever other color she chooses the week after. I've never seen anyone like her before, but I imagine that if my mother was still alive, she would be exactly like her. Grandmother said my mother was very beautiful and that she loved me and my sister very much. Mama Zenge, please don't panic. Charlotte is a good student. She can write and read far better than most children in my class. She is well behaved and she listens. I feel my grandmother getting relaxed next to me. I don't know how, but I noticed that I can understand a person's emotional state just by being close to them. Grandmother said my mother held me in her arms a lot when I was little. Maybe that's why. I wish I could remember her touch, but I don't, and that makes me sad. My teacher takes a deep sigh before she continues speaking. It's just that... Are you sure this is her real age? I've been teaching grade 1s for the past 9 years. I know exactly how 7-year-olds look and behave. You know how it's the rule of the Department of Education that all children must start grade 1 at age 7, or in the year they turn 7. I look at grandmother's face and I know she isn't happy about this question. That's her birth certificate in front of you, isn't it? That's her name, Charlotte Zenge, and her date of birth is right there. She's short, like her mother. Her front teeth only fell out later than normal because her mother breastfed her for a long time. My grandmother says, I wish I could remember all of that. My mother and how her breast milk tasted. There are a couple of photographs of her that my grandmother has hanging on our walls, but nothing about her stuck in my brain. My sister won't talk about her. She acts like she never existed. The one time I tried to have a conversation about our mother with her, all she said was, yeah, she loved us. After that, she went to her room and didn't come out until the next morning. I've never told my teacher about that, although she has this habit of asking me questions about my family and where I went to creche and grade R. I never went to any of those. That's not how it works, Mama. The teeth come out at 6 years old, no matter what. They grow back before they turn 7. But that's not why I called you here. I'm sure some kids develop quicker than others. What I want to know is, who taught her how to write? My teacher asks. Her older sister. She just turned 14. Listen, her mother was a young mother. She left and came back home years later with 2 daughters. That's not the story, I know. My daughter died, and now I have to take care of her 2 children. I'm raising my 2 grandchildren with the mere salary I get from working for the school feeding scheme at the high school. I'm trying my best. It's hard, but I'm trying. Charlotte is smart. She's always been a smart child. She learns fast. She's never said that to me at home, that I'm a smart child and all that. The meeting ends with me going to class and my grandmother going back home. After school, I, as usual, walk back home with my best friend. He's tiny and speaks like his nostrils are blocked. I'm the only one who plays with him, and he's the only person who plays with me, and we're happy. I'm his best friend, and he's my best friend, which makes sense because no one else wants to be friends with us. His mother gives me chocolates when we are at his home. Yesterday she gave me biscuits and a fizzy drink, and as I was enjoying my treat, she asked where I lived before coming to Cullinan. I don't know, so I told her that. She smiled at me and gave me a butterscotch before telling me to run home. It's another day, and today I don't feel like going inside my friend's house, but his mother is standing at the gate as usual. She feeds me snowball cakes this time and asks why my sister stopped going to school. I tell her I don't know, and I eat the snowball very fast in case she snatches it away because I don't have answers to her questions. Not that she's ever snatched her nice things from me before. It's just that I've realized that every time the cakes or the sweets or whatever is placed in front of me, it is followed by a question I have no answer to. Me and her son stay inseparable, and eventually she stops asking me stuff and just gives me nice things until my sister grabs him by the neck and almost kills him. He never speaks to me again, and I never stop at his house after school to eat nice things. So now we're the talk of the neighborhood, and our home is a forbidden place to every child here. But the priest from the only church in the area is not like these people. So grandmother still goes to church, but she doesn't take my sister and I with her. She still prays for her though, asking God to heal her. She never mentions me in her prayers though, and I don't even care. I know this neighborhood is not kind to my family, but I do not know anything beyond it. So I blame my sister for our troubles, but I dare not tell anyone about what she does at home, and to me, because grandmother said nothing that happens inside this house, inside this fence, should be spoken about to anyone. I hide the bruises and the scars with my clothes, and I come straight home from school. One day, I have a very vivid dream about a girl my age. She tells me we are best friends. She doesn't look happy, and neither do I. But we are little girls and we have crayons in our hands, so we make ourselves happy. She's wearing a yellow dress. I do not know colors yet, but I think my dress is green or blue. It's a bit big on me. I do not know her name, but I trust her when she tells me we should look outside the window, where all the other kids are. We watch them play and run around the yard. Our home is nothing but a dark one room with a bucket for us to pee and a box of food that comes every few days. Watching the many kids at the house through the window makes us happy. We wish we were there with them, although we have never seen their parents, just them and the house and the 3 trees on the yard. She tells me her mommy will come and get us soon and take us to a home that has a TV. I do not know what she is talking about, but I feel happy. When I woke up the next morning, I knew I had a long dream, but I did not remember what it was. I told grandmother about it, and she said it was good that I had forgotten, because dreams are not meant to be remembered. They are not real anyway. When I open my eyes, I feel like something is being yanked off of me. I feel heavy and sad. For the first time, I remember the dream I had when I was 7 years old, and I know it is in this room I saw, this exact room I am now a ghost in. It was me. I am Girly. I'm the little girl sitting on that mattress across me, and I'm back in this dark room. This is why my grandmother made me come back here, to remember. I do now. I remember the smell and the darkness, except for the days when we got food in a box. I remember the day he stopped taking Sissy upstairs and started taking me. It was when she started her period. I remember how hysterical she was when we woke up and saw blood on the mattress. She said, "Girly, I want you to close your eyes and not fight me. It will be quick, I promise." I trusted her. She was the only person I knew. I lay on my back as she instructed and waited. She said, "Hold your breath," before she put her hands around my neck and started strangling me. It was painful, so I kicked and screamed. "Stop fighting, I'm helping you. It's better for you to die," she said. I didn't know what dying was, but I knew I didn't want it. I fought until she stopped. "He will take you, Girly. He will hurt you." I didn't understand because the man bought us food and sometimes light. He cleaned the buckets and he had just given us new dresses and new toothbrushes and toothpaste. I was even more confused because every time he took Sissy, which was very often, she would come back and tell me about all the nice things that happened up there. She'd say she ate nice food and watched TV and saw elephants. For the longest time, I wanted to go upstairs too. I asked her what an elephant was and what it looked like, but she couldn't describe it to me in a detailed way. Just that it was big and had 4 legs, unlike us. I could not believe anything could have 4 legs. Sissy had 2 legs. I had 2 legs. The man had 2 legs, so it didn't make any sense to me. And then it happened. I was taken out of the room for the first time since I opened my eyes and saw Sissy. The man dragged me by my arm through a dark passage and up the stairs. I had never seen stairs in my life before. When we reached the top, there was light. Too much light. My eyes started stinging and my skin felt funny. There were things too, strange things all over the house, just placed here and there. He put me in a small room and told me to take off my dress and get inside a big thing with water inside. I had never seen so much water in my life, so I stood still until he yanked my dress off and threw me in the water. It was warm, not like the cold water Sissy washed me with every day. He pointed at something he called soap and said I must use it to wash myself. Deep inside, I was scared of the man, but also fascinated by the warm water and the nice-smelling soap. He let me stay in there for a while. I even washed my hair for the first time. When he walked back in, he had a big white towel with him. "Where are the elephants? I want to see them too," I said. He looked confused and shook his head before pulling me out of the water and wrapping me with a big towel. The room he took me to had light too, and a big mattress that was far taller than ours. It had things I'd never seen before. And then it happened. I did not know what it was, but it felt like earlier when Sissy tried to make me die, except this time I couldn't fight. It happened for a long time. Different things for a long time. They were all painful. The whole time I wished I had not fought Sissy when she tried to make me die. When I woke up in our dark room, I remembered all of it, but I didn't want to talk about it. Sissy kept trying to make me fall asleep by cradling me, but then he came back again and again and again until I realized it was never going to stop. There were no elephants and no TV and no nice things. Sissy had lied to me, but I couldn't get angry at her. He always put me in the water again before he took me back to the dark room downstairs. And then one day, everything changed. I remember now. Chapter 13. Kamo is not here. Sissy and Girlie are sitting on the mattress together as always. I want to cry and kick and scream. I don't want to be back here, not when I have to be watching this again. All three of us know what he is doing to her up there. I get the chance to slip away. They don't. The smell is not that bad. That means the bucket has been replaced. I wonder how long I was gone this time, and if this is the first time he has taken Kamo. Now that I remember, being here is even more painful. I want to go wherever I'm supposed to be. Being here is no use anyway, because I can't save us. I try to remember how we moved from two girls with no names to being Gertrude and Charlotte Zenge. I can't. I can't remember who got us out of here and how. And now I wonder if any of my grandmother's stories were true, about my mother mostly. Here, Gertrude is not the monster I grew up fearing in Cullinan. Here, she's a caring young girl, a mother-like person, even though I think her soul is dead. I hear the footsteps. He's bringing Kamo back. The door opens and they both come in. He has the light. He doesn't throw Kamo to the floor like a sack of potatoes. He's gripping her by her upper arm. There's an intense anger on his face and red marks all over his arms. There are scratch marks on his right cheek too. Kamo also looks like she's been beaten, but she doesn't look tired like Girlie always is when she comes back. I told you to teach her how to behave, he shouts and throws Kamo onto the mattress. The marks on his arms are bite marks. I want my mommy. I want to go home. Kamo screams at him. He rushes to Sissy and slaps her across the face. Teach her how to behave, he hisses. They're children. At least give them something to play with, she says. I don't remember this incident at all. Oh, there I am fast asleep on the mattress. That's how I missed it. I've noticed how Sissy never cries when she's being beaten. She only cries when one of us is taken upstairs. The man has left and locked the door. Now that I've taken a thorough look at him, I remember how he never smiled. A tall, skinny man with a pointed head at the back and a protruding forehead. He always wore the same clothes, a work uniform. But of course, I didn't know that then. Sissy and I wore the same dresses for a long time, so there is nothing strange about him doing the same. He beat Sissy a lot, especially at times when I got sick and he accused her of not taking care of me. She needs the sun and exercise, Sissy would say, and the man would beat her more for saying it. We did not know his name and we didn't give him one. We didn't talk about him. What did you do? I bit him and scratched him with my nails, Kamo says. She doesn't call him Malume anymore. You did great. Next time, scratch him harder on the face and come back with something. Did you see where he keeps the keys? Kamo shakes her head. I'm still fast asleep on the mattress. But also, the ghost me thinks Sissy has an escape plan, and I wonder why she never told the little me to do the things she is asking Kamo to do. She clearly has more hope in her than she does in me. It makes me wonder at what age I arrived in this room. I must have been really young if I can't remember my name or where I came from. I must have been a baby when he got me. And Sissy, where did she come from? She doesn't know anymore. I'm drifting away again. I know where I am. I'm at home in Cullinan. It's Saturday. I know this because every Saturday, grandmother cooked the same meal, rice and mutton stew with a few spices. The spicy smell always filled the entire house, and I liked it. It was different from the pap and fried meat or spinach or beans we ate throughout the week. We were never short of food, or anything for that matter. Our house was big enough for the three of us, and we always had new clothes when we needed them. At some point when I was in university, seeing how other kids were struggling, I wondered how my grandmother was able to take care of us with the salary she earned from the feeding scheme at the high school. I didn't even go to that no-fee high school she worked at. I went to a better school in town. I never asked her about that though. I think I forgot. I don't know why I'm back home, but I have accepted that nothing has made sense since the girl in the yellow dress killed me. I'm about 9 years old, I think. My front teeth have grown back and I'm taller now. I'm sitting in front of the TV with a bowl of food. Grandmother and Gertrude are sitting at the table behind the sofa, talking in hushed voices, but I can hear them. You don't want to, do you? You don't want us to be found, Gertrude says. I've tried. I'm still trying, Grandmother responds. I always knew when my sister was angry. She spoke in a certain way, and every time she was, I could feel that violence was coming. What do you expect me to do? You don't even know your real name. You don't know where you came from. I'm giving you a life. She cuts her off. And Girlie? What about her? Don't call her that. Her name is Charlotte. She doesn't remember anything, and that's good for her. She'll have a normal life. And that's because of me. Because of you. You harm her every chance you get. I'm giving her new pain so she can experience it and forget about what happened before. How do you think I survived 13 years in there? I don't remember this conversation at all. I think my sister hurt me again after it to make me forget. She leaves her food and disappears somewhere. Barely an hour later, grandmother is pulling her off of me and there's excruciating pain on my left arm. Take her to the hospital. And this time, tell the nurses the truth, my sister says to grandmother. Ugh, I'm drifting again. No, I don't want to leave. I want to know what happened. The footsteps, the chain rattling, the lock being turned and a box being thrown in. All its contents scatter on the floor. It's crayons in all colors and a thick paper sheet. There's also a stuffed toy, a teddy bear. Little me is awake now, and I'm looking at the things on the floor like they might hurt me. I don't want to touch them. Kamu crawls in the semi-darkness and picks up one colorful box and sheet. They're just crayons, she says, waving the box in my face. I ask her what crayons are, and she tells me they are colors. I don't know anything about colors. She says they're for drawing. I don't know what that means. This is a teddy bear. She's pink, so we'll call her Pinky, she says. She takes one crayon out of the box and tells me it is blue. I take it from her and look closely at it. She says it is the color of the swimming pool at the house where her aunt works. I do not know what a swimming pool is. She tells me it is something like where the evil guy who does bad things to us makes us bath, but it's far bigger. I can't tell if Sissy is as confused as I am. Kamo asks me what I would like to draw. I tell her an elephant. She says she's never seen one in real life, but the ones on TV are very big. I don't know how to hold a crayon. I've never held one before. Sissy has not gotten involved at all, but she's watching. I'll teach you how to draw and write, Kamo says. For the first time since I became a ghost, I'm seeing kids. They aren't and never will come close to being normal kids, but that little glimpse of wonder is something. Together we hover over the sheet pad as Kamo draws the elephant. I'm happy to see it. But the ghost me sitting here has seen a real elephant. And I know it doesn't exactly look like that. The little me looks happy though. And I think that even if they could see or hear me, I would not tell them that's not what an elephant looks like. Kamo and little me spent a lot of time drawing things until Sissy tells us to stop because we must save the paper and crayons for other days. I don't know if it is day or night or how long I've been here. I never know how long I've been gone and how much has happened since I left. I just always know that the man will come back. He does, and he takes me this time. I think Ghost Me is going to drift off again, but it doesn't happen this time. Little me walks down the passage and follows him up the stairs. He goes out of the hall, and just as my eyes reach surface, I see another man, just standing there, not far. Our eyes meet, and I immediately feel a foot kicking me at the top of my head. I roll down the stairs. My body hurts everywhere, but I crawl up the stairs nevertheless. The trapdoor is not closed. All I can see is the brown wood covering it. I've seen the brown wood cabinet thing before. It's always placed right next to the trapdoor. It has legs, so there's some space between it and the trapdoor. Was that a child? I didn't know you had a child. It's the other man speaking. I know that because his voice is different, deeper. What child? The bad man asks. I saw a child's face just now, before you pulled the cabinet to cover the... Why are you here, Moses? I didn't know you were coming. How did you get inside? You were supposed to come tomorrow morning. I don't think he'll be happy when he finds out I crawled up the stairs to listen to their conversation after he kicked me down the stairs. I'm meeting some guys from around here tonight. You know I need workers. It's not like I can put up a whole fence by myself. Men? What men? You were supposed to come with your own people. If I wanted people from here, I would have found local builders. Not have you come all the way from back home for the job. The bad man sounds angry. His voice is raised. If I get men from back home, it's going to cost you, and they will need a place to stay while working. I don't care. Bring them. The other man says okay, and I hear footsteps until they stop. Duelo, what do you use that room I built for you underground for? You said it was for storage. I use it for storage. I told you it was for my father's stuff, the bad man snaps. He sounds a bit angry. What was that I saw, Duelo? A little girl is missing, and the police are looking for her. It's all over the news, and... I hear a loud thud. A man squirming, and another thud, and another, until it's dead quiet. I hear footsteps coming, so I run down the stairs and lie down on the dark passage. He comes, drags me by my dress, and throws me in the room before he locks us in and leaves. Sissy looks shocked that I'm back so soon. There was a man upstairs, I tell her. A man? Yes, he saw me. I think he hit him like he always hits you. I want to tell her what name the bad man called him, but I've forgotten it. Besides, I don't think she believes any of the stuff I'm telling her. Anyway, I'm more interested in the crayons and the drawing Kamo has been teaching me. This time, we're drawing a dog. She tells me she doesn't have one, but she has seen lots of dogs before. It has 4 legs too, like the elephant. When she's done drawing it, She helps me hold the crayon and says we are drawing the tail now. I draw and draw and draw until she takes the crayon away from me. She tells me dogs don't have tails this long, but we can't change it. Crayons are not easy to rub off the paper, so we leave it like that. Dogs are black or white or brown. You must color it, she says. Before Sissy told us to stop, she was teaching me about different colors, but it was hard to remember all of them. I picked the one that I liked the most. I don't think it is any of the colors she said dogs are. That's purple. Some dogs are purple, she says, and giggles. The purple dog. It was me who drew that. I love watching them laugh. It's a rare sight. I would laugh with them if I wasn't a ghost in this room. Also, who was that man upstairs? He built this room. He would have saved us, but I know the bad man killed him. I'm drifting away again.